Oh, what's up? Oh, what's up?
Yo, what up? It's Amaje back here in another video, and we're about to get to an Tazi video. For people that have a problem with a Tazi, you can click off the video with me reacting to this, I guess. But hey, this video's about a TikToker prankster that admit he destroyed his life. Takes a lot to admit that, but let's see what it's about.
And just admitted that being a TikTok prankster destroyed his life, as he's now back on social media after getting arrested for his content, called out on national television, and banned from posting online for 2 years.
Do you get your kicks out of doing that?
Not necessarily, but you can say that this whole public outroar just makes me laugh because people are getting hurt over something that didn't happen to them.
But you know, except for planning a more degenerate return to social media like so many others like IRL streamers that we've covered in the past did, he spent these 2 years offline completely changing his life. He became a father of 2, went back to school for media, and got himself a construction job. And honestly, this needs to be celebrated. Someone learning their lesson.
Whoa. I like the first video clip he showed me, like I thought it was about to be on a bad note. Like this nigga went back and improved his life. That is rare for a whole degenerate that was in the past.
And deciding to provide value to society, that is amazing. I still completely despise what he did for clout and attention back in the day. But at the end of the day, we want people to actually better themselves, change their lives, and leave a positive impact on society. So now the 2-year social media ban has passed, and he's finally allowed to go back online, and is now posting social media content encouraging others to do the same as him, instead of chasing clout through shot content.
Hello world, after 2 long years, I am back! You probably know me as that kid that was walking into random houses, doing madness, riding bikes in places, jumping over people, stealing people's dogs. Yeah, blasphemy, Baphonominy. That's what I was on still. But now I've reformed, I've changed as a person. You've probably seen on the news, I've been working, I've been looking after my kids.
You guys know I love a follow-up story on this channel, and even more so when it's actually a positive one and not someone who's completely throwing away their life like so many of the others we covered. Cough, cough, Johnny Somali over here. Because today we're talking about the now ex-nuisance creator Mizzy, or Bakari Ogaro, a 21-year-old from East London who I've covered extensively here on this channel in the past. In fact, from May of 2023 until April of 2024, I made about 5 videos covering his antics, which included trespassing into someone's house, filming them without their permission, which, you know, made him viral in the first place. Then he was disrupting a whole bunch of businesses.
Damn, this nigga did a lot of crazy shit, bro. Cause walking into somebody's house, what type of fucking prank is that? I don't know what type of shit was going through this nigga head at the time, but walking into somebody's house is crazy, and they could have shot you.
Breaking into a cockpit of a train, subway surfing on the top of buses. He was doing everything. But I feel like one of the worst things he did was stealing an elder lady's dog. He did return it, but not before scaring the absolute crap of her and, you know, running pretty much a block away.
I'm sorry, but even though this nigga's British, she probably see a black dude running up to you just menacingly, scaring the shit out of you, and that just ramps up the stereotype.
Away from her, so she genuinely thought her dog was gone forever, most likely. Either way, though, he went on to multiple national talk shows to be publicly bashed and shamed, and then he was finally arrested, banned, and essentially thrown off the internet. Like in a court-ordered way, the UK government literally banned him from using social media. But since Mizzy's social media ban was officially lifted just recently, he's been back showing a more wholesome side, promoting hard work and focusing on family. And obviously, this is a massive difference from when I first started covering Mizzy, because that was back in 2023, and the first time I covered him was over the whole trespassing into strangers' homes. That video went extremely viral on TikTok and caused a ton of outrage since it's illegal. Also, not only is it trespassing, but if he did something in a state that has stand your ground laws, he might have not been here today.
Oh shit. He lucky that was the UK. UK really not that strict, bro. I mean, on those type of laws, but I'm saying like they got they don't have guns, they don't literally, I mean, they got sharp ass knives out there, but like even then you still getting yourself in trouble even if the dude did something. But if he was out here, bro, bro would have got blicked down.
It's safe to say things could have gone really bad. Because, I mean, it wasn't too long ago we had a situation in Virginia where a TikToker lost their life off of doing this ding-dong ditch prank. But this video led to his account being banned, but it also somehow resulted in him appearing on the Piers Morgan show and essentially doubling down on his behavior. And he also used the excuse that UK laws are just too chill, which is kind of hilarious because in a way, he was kind of breaking the fourth wall in England there, because when even the dudes who are committing crimes are like, yo, the laws are too weak, maybe they are. But that comment did go on to backfire because they ended up punishing him for this.
This week, a social media prankster named Mizzy has generated headlines and abject outrage for so-called pranks, which mostly involve just terrorizing innocent bystanders. London's Met Police announced they were looking for Mizzy, real name Bakari Bronzagaro. The law caught up with him, and today he was fined.
So basically, this nigga like shitted on the laws and it got back to him. That's fucking rare. WUK, man.
And £365 and given a criminal behaviour order, which is supposed to ban him from posting to social media without the written permission of the people in his video.
I wouldn't really call it terrorizing, I'll just call it more having fun. Let's get this out of the way first. You see this situation that blew up on the internet, the walking into random houses? The next day, I apologized to the woman because I felt bad, innit? She recorded me apologizing to her. I told her sorry and she explained that she was terrified because her children were in the house, and I understood
What were you doing in the house?
What was I doing in the house? I don't know, it was a stupid video, like I got hair pressure to say.
Or somebody else's fault?
I'm not blaming it on no one else.
I mean, you break into a house with a woman and a husband and
I went into the house on my own accord.
You went through their door, right? But it's not your house. You're not supposed to be in there.
Oh, no.
You are causing a lot of alarm to that poor woman and to her children who are in the house. I also care about the fact you've only got a tiny fine today, no deterrent to you whatsoever. You don't show any real remorse. You don't really care, do you?
The UK laws are weak, simple as. And that's not, the UK laws are weak, simple as, and that's not my fault.
So I guess all of this new spotlight on his content caused people to highlight his other concerning videos, like the one where he steals this old lady's dog in the park, which I mentioned earlier. Yeah, I mean, there was a reason I was covering this dude so much back in the day, because I was genuinely shocked at what he did for social media attention. Like randomly jumping on the back of a man who's just standing in the street. The way he's tackling an unsuspecting stranger would scare anyone to make them assume they are being attacked. He also ran up on random people, asking them if they wanted to, which is obviously insanely stupid and unsafe. And like I said earlier, that could easily have some fatal consequences if he tried something like that in the US. But Mizzy admits later on that he just wanted clout, and he knew that if he wanted to do this, he had to keep on raising the stakes. He had to do crazier and crazier stuff. And clearly that was a disaster.
It's what a lot of like fucking influencers aren't learning by today. They still doing the same shit. You go and follow and see all the downfall of every other creators around TikTok, creators around any platform, and you don't learn from the situation. You just try to take their situation and say, oh, I'm better than them and I can just still do what I want. And like, he just made a mistake. No, nigga, you're gonna fucking pay for that shit too. One way or another, even if it's like some sort of harsh punishment or not, bro, you're gonna have to, that shit's gonna catch up to you no matter what.
Disaster waiting to happen, because that's unfortunately the trap a lot of these nuisance streamers and TikTok pranksters fall into that we cover here on this channel. And yeah, it's safe to say he raised the stakes enough because the police got interested in his content. And unfortunately for him, he was going to face not only social repercussions, but also legal ones. Because in May of 2023, a judge issued him a 2-year criminal behavior order, including that he must not directly or indirectly post videos on social media without the documented consent of the people featured in the content. Then, of course, immediately, he violated this order and was charged with 3 breaches of criminal behavior orders. So then, a judge actually found Mizzy guilty and sentenced him to 18 months in jail. And not only that, he was also given a social media ban that was set to last until November of 2025. So, just this last month. But during that ban, I did actually speak to him briefly through Instagram DMs, and I shared that conversation in my video I made in April 2024. And even at that time, Mizzy seemed to allude his redemption arc and inevitable comeback. He told me about being a new father and that he was going back to school and getting a real job. And this time, he wasn't only a father of one, but since welcomed another child into the world. And he attributes a lot of his discipline and inspiration to his 2 kids. And honestly, it's admirable to see someone recognize when they really need to make a change and support the people that depend on them. And finally, on November 25th, Mizzy made his official return to social media with an Instagram post where he was dressed in his work clothes and addressing where he's been. Honestly, good for him. So he says his old videos were terrible and that he's learned from his mistakes, but he does say he's returning to making content, just in a completely different style. Here he teased music, a kick stream, vlogs, and into joining the YouTube boxing scene. So that'll be interesting to see how all of that unfolds, but his new content so far seems to be talking about how he got into construction and how he got his life back together, and even teaches people how to follow his steps and get a trade job in the UK. And I mean, after seeing these videos,
That's literally like a whole 360, man. I'm always glad for a whole redemption of anything. Just like I like reacting to like, people being a menace to society, but I like people that actually come back from like a whole redemption arc, bro. That's like actually cool, bro. You like you realize you got to change for your kids. You got to like do what you can and support them. You gotta just make a whole 360, giving it your advice and giving your story, bro. I fuck with that.
I'm like, wow, this is a really positive improvement here. Like, I am genuinely so happy to see this outcome, and I'm just hoping it stays. And honestly, what's crazy is Mizzy is only 21, and it seems like he's matured quite a bit in the last 2 years. Meanwhile, we have Johnny across the pond stuck in South Korea at 26, and I don't even think he's even close to being mature enough to take accountability like Mizzy did here. So it seems like Mizzy rebranded from an annoying nuisance streamer to an inspirational dad vlogger in less than 3 years. So hopefully he doesn't return to harassing people for attention online, because I'm all for a redemption arc, especially if the lesson to the viewer is doing shock content for clout will only result in bad things, and true fulfillment comes from hard work and taking care of the people you love. And also bonus points for showing that self-reflection and growth can be possible, and sometimes being quote-unquote canceled is actually just an opportunity for introspection and positive change. Mizzy, from what I can tell, seems to be fully embodying these lessons and sharing them repeatedly to his following, which I can't hate on that. This is awesome to see. And the dude is even getting married soon to the mother of his child, so congratulations to both of them.
Man.
What's good, people? Following up on the last video I made, yes guys, I am actually getting married, fam. It's such a mad experience, bro. I'm only 21, bro, and I feel like I've come so far in my life. I've lived a lot of life, and I've been through so much. I found the one, so what's the point of dilly-dallying? We have a child together, so why not lock that in? If you want to come to the wedding, let me know, guys, bro. But next year, 2026, comeback season in motion. We outside in the district.
So even though Mizzy started off on this channel as a menace who was on a swift fall off, he's a good example that you can actually fix your life. You don't have to go down this toxic, horrible path that so many of these kick streamers and TikTok pranksters are doing. It is absolutely not.
Man, yeah, bro. Somehow this video turned into me getting surprised. I thought it was about to be a whole nother person, just probably like getting into some other shit around the fucking internet. But it just somehow turned into some wholesome ass content and like a whole 360. I'm glad to see that, bro. You know what? Yeah, man, yeah, that hit in the heart, bro. I'm glad to see that dude's getting married, getting his life together, and staying on the right path, because that's just basically what it shouldn't be so hard. I wish like all these other weird ass fucking influencers could follow that whole path, but like, it's the world. You're gonna have to have a few people causing problems, because that's what causes videos to, all these commentators to keep talking about them. But hey, this was a good whole thing, man. Glad to see that dude's come back. But hey, if you guys want me to react to some more videos, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we on the road to 200 subs. See you guys in the next video.